Okay, this is a tutorial to wire wrap drilled agate slices. So grab your wire and take about a meter. Give yourself enough to practice with. Grab your wire cutters and snip off that length. And then find the center of the wire. So just fold the wire in half and take the middle of that wire. Grab a agate slice with a drilled hole in the top of the slice and slide the wire through the slice and take the agate slice down to the center of your wire. So at this point, your agate slice is in the set middle of the wire. We're going to twist this wire to hold the agate slice in place. So wrap the wire around itself and just twist it, and this bit of twisting will become the bell. So twist it for as long as you think you need for the bell at the top. Grab your round nose pliers and curve that twisted piece of wire round back on itself, round the back of the agate slice. Okay, and don't worry too much about the shape of this. Wrap the two ends around the base of that bell so that you can connect it all in place. So wrap the two wires in opposite directions until they meet, and then give that a little twist to hold that in place. And then you can take both your wires down the back of the agate slice, hold them tight down the back of the agate slice, turn the agate slice over and bring them both up the front. And then cross them over in the middle, and then you can start a spiral around the front. So hold on to the spiral with your thumb and hold on to the back of the agate slice to hold the wires at the back in place. And just keep holding the wires in place whilst you create a design. You can create any design you want at this point. Just try and keep all the wires held in place. And then after you've done your spiral, take the wires round the back of the agate slice, across the front, around the back again, and then you can start to wrap the bell to finish it off. Now at this point, after I've wrapped the bell enough, scarfing that little hoop at the top, I will go in and start. These wires are a little bit wobbly, so I'm going to strengthen those up by just taking my flat nose pliers and crimping the wires just to tighten them up. And you can do this as many times as you like, or as little as you like, depending on how you feel the wire is holding on to your crystal. If your wire feels loose, just give it a little crimp. And we can do the same at the front, or you can add extra crimps in the back. Just make sure your wire is not sliding where it may slip off. So we'll add some more crimps on the front, And this adds to the design of your crystal. This is just a simple and basic way of learning how to wire wrap. So you can tweak your design. And you can keep adding crimps onto those looser wires just to tighten it all up. And then when you're happy with the design and you're happy that the wire is not going to slip off the crystal, you can finish the top. So we snip off the wire. Just go careful at this point because they will shoot off. So hold on to the wire, and then we can tuck the wire into the bell, into that scarfing effect, and tuck them out the way so that they don't scratch anybody or scratch yourself or catch on any of your clothing. Just tuck those ends out the way, and you can reshape your bell with your round nose pliers and use them to tuck them in. I need to cut off a bit more. They were a little bit too long. I couldn't tuck them in neatly enough. So I'm going to try that again. This bit is quite tricky, but the more you practice, the more you'll get the hang of it. So we tuck those in, out the way, and you can push your round nose pliers into that bell, and that will push it all down further and reshape your bell. And then you can squeeze down the scarfing effect and just make it all tighter and neater. So I'm just centering and turning the bell because I like to add hoops in the top, and it was facing the wrong way. So I'll just straighten that. You can twist that around with your flat nose pliers to where you want it to be, and make sure the bell is in the center. And once you're happy with it, you can add some jump rings to the top and add your chain or leather thong to make your necklace. So I'm just adding a few more crimps because it's still just a tiny little bit loose. So just tighten it up a little bit more. And this all comes with practice. Just keep persevering. It's still a little bit loose, but I'm happy that it's not going to go anywhere. And that's the finished pink agate slice. So we'll have another go with the blue one. So take about 1 meter of wire, take your wire cutters, snip off the wire, fold the wire in half so that you can get the center, slide your agate slice onto the wire, into the center, and then start to twist those wires together to create your bell. It's trial and error on the size you want your bell, so you will get the hang of that with more practice. So I think that's about enough twist for the bell at the top of this one. I'm going to go halfway down the wired nose because the agate's a little bit smaller, the round nose pliers, and I'm going to create the bell at the top and then bring the 2 wires around the back on either side of the bell and twist the wires together at the back just to hold it in place. I'm just straightening out the bell at the top because it's not in the center. And then we pop the wires down the back of the agate slice and then bring them up the front, and we can start to create a design. Cross the wires at the front so that you can create a spiral. So cross them over and then start to turn them in the same direction. Hold all your wires in place tightly because they will slide all over the place. Hold your spiral with your thumb and just keep making sure all the wires are staying where you want them to stay. And make sure you hold the wires at the back. So once you've got the design at the front of your slice, you can bring, this time I'm going to put one wire around the back and right across the front and wrap it around the bell, and then I'm going to do the other one separately as well. And we're going to take that and wrap that around the bell as well. So wrap it round, scarf your bell, and then with the flat nose pliers start to crimp the wires to tighten them up. So go around, tighten up your wire on the slice so that it doesn't all pop out. And when you're happy with that, you can finish off the scarfing. I mean, at this point, if you make a mistake, you can undo it and start again. And you can straighten your wire with some wire straighteners if you needed to start again. So we snip off the ends so that we got enough to tuck inside the bell and down into the scarfing effect. So push those two ends in to the bell and down into the scarf. This one's quite tricky because the bell is slightly too small. But perseverance, and you will get there in the end. And just use your your round nose pliers to reshape your bell if you misshape it. So it can become quite troublesome to get those wires into the bell. And I think I'm going to go back to that one. I may have to make that bell a little bit bigger. But there's a simple and effective way of learning how to wire wrap crystals. The main goal is getting your wire to stay on the crystal, and drilled agate slices are the perfect place to practice and learn. I hope that was helpful. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe if you would like to see more. Bye-bye.